Ladies and gentlemen, 2023 is just around the corner. You saw the title of the video. We're going to be talking about MyGM here, and I can't wait to see what they have to offer in 2K23. 2K22 was a step in the right direction for this mode that was very bare bones and very simple, but fun at the same time. I spent so much time on here. You guys saw me on stream, saw me in videos, just crushing it, trying to find different ways to get creative and just enjoy the mode for what it was. Now that we're getting closer to 2K23, I'm like, you know what? We're going to start this new series on the channel where I'm going to list some of the things I want to see, just wish list videos, episodes covering different modes, and sometimes even revisiting modes depending on the conversation that we have in the comment section. So if you guys want to engage with your boy Lexxeru, hit up the comment section so we could create this back and forth discussion, and we can use some of the points given in the comments for the next video or the next episode, should I say. So here again, MyGM, a fresh start to the series that was brought onto the WWE universe a while ago, and then they took it away. And, you know, we have been begging for this mode forever, it felt like. Well, it finally came, and it wasn't what we expected, that's for sure. But here, what we're going to do is, besides putting bullet points and text messages and things like that, I want to jump into 22 and start from scratch and kind of point out things that I would add or do differently, okay? That's how we're going to do these videos. We're not just going to sit here and talk, oh yeah, I want this to happen. I want to, you know, I'm not a modder, so I can't put fake, you know, screenshots of in-game menus. We're just going to sit here on 2K22 and relax and have some fun with these wish list videos. So again, MyGM 22, very bare bones. We're starting off with what? About a handful of GMs to choose from. You get to use the custom superstar feature, which that should be back. I thought that was a good add-on to keep it fresh, keep it going. But let's see a different roster of GM options. We got to bring back Stephanie McMahon. Hopefully Shane McMahon. William Regal's not there anymore, so I wonder what they're going to do with that. Sonya Deville is no longer a manager figure. Adam Pearce is still around, so we could do him, and then maybe add Triple H, add some managers like Paul Heyman, you know, Shawn Michaels, and Road Dogg, maybe even. I don't know. Just give us a different roster to choose from, not just the same ones or a limited amount. I want them to give us like a diverse amount, because we have a good start with the perks here, right? We got Instigator, Superstars GM, Legend Whisperer, Coast to Coast, the McMahon presence. So I like the foundation, but I want them to add to this feature, not take away or make it limited. Just add more to it, and I think we'll be all right. So let's start with Shane McMahon here, just to pick any character. And in terms of branding here, I would also like for them to give us opportunity to create our own show, okay? So I get it. You want to give these show perks and things like that. Let us choose what perk to add to the show that we create, whatever it may be. I know there's a lot of AEW fans out there, including myself. We would want to see an AEW branded GM series, so give us the option to do our own branding for our shows. But I know that's not a feature that's not really needed, but it would be cool. That's all I'm saying. So I like it. I like the perk system. Just add to it, add to it, add to it. That's it. And then for the session settings, come on, we need more options than just this. This is not enough. Again, this was year one. It was acceptable at launch because, you know, they're starting something fresh and new. This team hasn't worked on the previous MyGM iteration, so I get it. I get why it was missing so much. But just core wrestling features, man. Like, one season is not enough. You know, 50 weeks, one and done is not enough. It's just not fun to start over from scratch. You know, keep the records, keep the stat tracking going. Let us expand on our finances and use the money we've earned in profit beyond just 50 weeks. Or even if it is 50 weeks for one season, let us start with the second, third, and fourth season, so on and so forth, so we could just continue playing. The difficulty settings are okay. You know, it just sucks that the mode itself feels very formula, right? The user ratings, like for the overall and each character, doesn't matter. the matches that you put on 1v1, 2v2 or whatever, they don't matter, because at the end of the day, the algorithm that they created, which is not even an algorithm, it's just kind of like a formula. If you put a big dude versus a small dude, you know, they work, or brawler, and this guy, like, change that up. I want it to be based more on personality traits and overalls and charisma ratings, and just take it back to the old school days that it was about randomizing based on overalls and just the type of match that you're setting up. So, all right. So the GM opponent, we already talked about that. They could add more GMs. That would be great. And come on, let it... How are you going to say that we could play multiple players and do a human opponent, but you can't do it online? Like, this is supposed to be kind of like a franchise mode. Let us invite our friends. That is just amazing if they're able to capture that and add multiplayer, online multiplayer, to be specific, not this offline stuff that they teased us with, because it's cool and it gives us a little bit of flexibility, but I think the multiplayer experience needs to be present in 2K23. The draft pool feature is just fine. They could keep it just like that. I'm okay with that. The automatic draft settings, whatever, that is okay too. I'm good with some of these other features. All right. Now, let us pick how much money we start off with. If we want to limit the amount of money and resources, let us pick that so we could truly customize our session. It's just too limited, too bare bones, and I think that it's not enough. So once we get into the next screen where we begin our draft, I get it. Each GM will start with this budget. Let us pick our budget. I already said that. Let us do however many rounds we want to do, just like you did this year. You could keep that just like that. And I like the recommendations.
First pick for SmackDown.
All right, Michael Cole, relax. All right. So the reason why it's starting from scratch is because I deleted my save data, just so y'all know. It's not that this is the first time that I actually played. I've played this like a ridiculous amount. So yeah, classes. Expand on the classes, man. They gave some ridiculous classes to some wrestlers, and I'm like, do these people even know anything about wrestling? Like, some of the bigger heavyweight dudes are not even heavyweights, and bruisers are not bruisers. And there's just so many the specialist class felt so useless. It was only like it was kind of randomized when it worked, but it was just a transitional champion to kind of mix with other classes for the time being. It didn't feel it didn't feel like it gelled well, like the bruiser and fighters and things like that. You know, it felt kind of out of place. And yeah, they need to give us more variety when it comes to classes. Give us more variety for that. And then the pop feature is cool. I like that. That could stay. I'm all for it. But, you know, I kind of get the feeling that the computer doesn't even know, like, the superstar they're drafting, right? Especially since overalls don't really matter. They don't know that they're drafting 99 overall John Cena or Roman Reigns. They're just going based on, like, the amount of money that they cost or something like that. It's just, they need to do better with that. Because if I'm drafting, you know, a big mega superstar, I want it to feel like such a thing. And I get it. Sometimes, like,
Brock Lesnar.
I got...
Set to eat, sleep, conquer, repeat.
You see?
You want a tough guy like this to start your brand with.
So they do say that, and it gives you that hype and feel, but it's just, it feels very bland, very generic. All right, that's the problem with it. And Lex, but you were loving this mode when the game came out. You were obsessed with MyGM. You played it endlessly. Well, it's November 14th.
GM knows this is the most
Oh my God, shut the hell up, Byron Saxton. But yeah, the game has been out for a while already, and we're able to digest what we've experienced now. So that's why I'm doing this video, and I'm just going to continue to draft here, and let's get into the regular menus now. This is why I love the portraits, because it gave you that authentic, realistic feel. So bring that back. I'm all for it. That was super cool. So we're ending the draft here, and we're moving on to the regular menus. All right, we see the roster. Boom, boom, boom. Everything is cool, right? But there's no mid-card titles. right? They added the tag team titles later on, which was an awesome feature. Talking to Triple H as the man with the plan was really, really cool to see. You know, him giving us pointers and us replying to him was pretty cool. But it got repetitive too early. Give us more options, you know, throw us for a spin, throw a little curveball more often. And you see, like, since they added the tag team titles later, you don't have the option to pick your tag champs. It's one female, one male. That's it. And they could have done so much better, right? They could have done so much more than that. It kind of sucks that that's the route they went, because we've been wanting this for so long, and I get it. That's why a lot of people were like super pissed off. And they added 2 mid-card matches to the regular shows, and they added more to the pay-per-views. So it was good that they added more matches. But here's the thing: when you play through a show, like I said earlier, it doesn't even matter if you put on a 5-star match. What's the point of having 5-star ratings or ratings in general in other modes, but you don't bring that into MyGM and put on one hell of a performance? I get it. Some people would cheese and put on 5-star matches, you know, with every match on the card, but you know, kind of like find a way to nerf it or limit it in a way. I don't know, just. And the promos, I wanted the cutscene so bad. I think everyone else out there wanted it so bad. We all wanted promos to feature cutscenes and kind of have us engage with a little back and forth, you know, picking A, B, C, or D. Like, let us read it. Even if we can't get them to do the voice acting, let us read it. I'm okay with reading. Give us endless text messages, you know. One of the greatest features that one of the older WWE 2K games had was that, yes, it was under ukes and stuff like that, but you were able to, you know, create your own storylines and your own path, literally writing and typing your own, you know, dialogue. So I don't want to do that myself. I don't really care to do that myself, but I would want for them to be able to do it, then, you know, and add it to the game and do updates. So for arenas, this system was pretty cool too. Same for the crew and special effects and advertisement, even though sometimes it felt kind of pointless and like a waste of money. I wish they would have added, you know, more meaning to it, right? The free agent signings and things like that, it was cool. The contracts at times felt a little, but I liked it overall. And the menus were really easy to navigate, so they could bring back these kind of menus too. There's no power rankings, right? Yeah, let me see them at the here. You could see the popularity and stuff like that, but there's no really like stat tracking. I wanted it to have more than just wins and losses and things that mattered to us, you know, like previous feuds. Like, just give us more information. I feel like it was just lazy when it came to the stat tracking features. And then this was cool. I like this. The budgets, the fans, what you're chasing, you know, the graph, that was cool. The journal for the feedback, that was cool. So what they built with 2K22 was definitely a great starting point. Let's add some of the things I mentioned on my wish list. Better stat tracking, more customization features for budgeting and such, more match types, more titles, and change the freaking algorithm that they have, the formula, you know, with the bruisers and the fighters and all that crap. Change the classes up, make the overalls mean something. We can customize the overalls as is. We can make people main eventers if we want to. Let us take more control and really sink our teeth into this. Kind of like Universe Mode. Universe Mode this year was super bland. They took out so many cutscenes and so many cool things that was already there. And I get it. They were trying to limit the freaking glitches and issues that some of the previous games had by removing some items, but it doesn't mean they can't work and focus on new stuff that's going to make this game truly a real special experience. 2K22 was fun and all, but the wish list time period is here. We're going to freaking do these kinds of videos to close out 2022. And at the start of 2023, hopefully we start getting some official news. We're going to be covering all that on the channel and more. If you guys like wrestling, gaming, wrestling and gaming, man, this is the channel for you. One-stop shop for all things wrestling, movies, and live streaming. So I will see you guys real soon. Again, I'm going to be reading the comments to see how we go about this going forward with this brand new series on the channel. We'll be doing like maybe 1 or 2 episodes a week, depending on how we're feeling. But either way, 2K22 is still around. We got to continue to work on this game and have some fun and find ways to have some fun till 2K23. So I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Hit me up with your wish list. I'll be looking. I'm telling y'all. Peace.